Listen to this. This has only happened 3 times in the history of the world in America. The first time was under FDR, where growth was 8.4%. The second time was under Ronald Reagan, where economic growth was 3.4%. The third time was under Bill Clinton, where the economic growth was 3.9%. Right now, it's 1.7%. That's the latest reading we have. Next year is estimated to be 2.3%. It is just not feasible that over the course of 4 years, starting from the next presidential term, that 12 million jobs are going to be created. Why did the Democrats get on that bandwagon?
Well, I'm afraid you're not right.
About what
Stephanie
part?
Cutter was accurately quoting what the consensus of expert economists are.
That's not what I asked you. That's not what I asked you. That's not what I asked you.
Half of them are Democrats. There will be. My expectation is that 12 million plus or minus a bit, one never knows precisely, is a reasonable forecast. And I think what you're not recognizing when you're so pessimistic is that the fact that we are in this valley means we have much more room to climb, and there's much more room for jobs to increase and expand than would normally be the case. And that's why it is reasonable to forecast over the next 4 years.
Do you doubt the consensus estimate that the U.S. will grow by under 2.5% in 2013? Because then we're going to have, we're going to go gangbusters in 2014 and 2015. I'll back up the truck and buy U.S. equities, invest in everything U.S. Something's going to happen that is somehow going to make the U.S. one of the fastest growing economies in the world, possibly growing as fast as India?
Well, India's slowed way down. You don't need 7%, 8%, the kind of growth rates you're seeing in Asia, to produce that kind of job creation. But the fundamental point is there are a set of dynamics that are coming into play, most important of which is that we've been creating close to 1 million households each year, and we've been building far fewer number of houses because of the excess inventories. Those inventories are now most of the way worked off, and so most economists expect housing construction to pick up. And if we give it that final boost by carrying through on the president's housing plan, as will happen if he is reelected, then we'll be in a position to reap that kind of benefit. We're seeing a set of adjustments that are in place. So I have to tell you that I do think that the forecast of 250,000 jobs a month, which is what's implicit in the 12 million job figure, is a reasonable estimate over the 4-year period if the president is reelected and is able to carry through on his program.
So you've talked about what can be done domestically. We have intransigence in Washington, which stands in the way of that kind of growth number that you're suggesting will be higher than mine. You haven't put one out there. But what about Europe? I mean, Europe is certainly a headwind. It's got to be responsible for at least some of the loss of jobs that we saw, or the lack of growth in jobs, the loss of those manufacturing jobs. You're that optimistic despite the fact that Europe hasn't quite got its act together yet?
I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged by what Mario Draghi did last week, the set of commitments he made to support the nations that are in the most difficulty on the basis of rigorous conditions. Yeah, I think that is a sign that the European situation may be coming under some control.